We will be presenting the Haitian earthquake that occurred in 2010. Presenting would be me, Katie.
I'm Goldie,
I'm Madison.
And I'm Ingrid.
and we're going to be talking about how it happened, where, when, and the environmental impact, human impact, some fun facts, and our sources will be at the end.
To give context, it occurred January 12, 2010 in the West Indian islands of Hispaniola. The earthquake was started by contractional deformation along a fault, which is also known as thrust tectonics.
So the earthquake, it had led to several improvements in disaster management and building practices. Because of the 7.0 magnitude earthquake, it really damaged a lot of buildings due to improper construction practices.
So the total death count was 316,000, and injuries were over 300,000, and the total damages was well over $8,000 million, and over 1 million citizens were left homeless in the direct aftermath and had to live in temporary settlements, and many buildings were either significantly damaged or destroyed, which include the Presidential Palace, National Assembly, and the main jail, and in the capital, the headquarters of United Nations Stabilization Mission collapsed and killed many, including the mission's chief. So some important people who passed away, unfortunately, include the Archbishop of Port-au-Prince and the opposition leader. In October 2010, a cholera outbreak was brought by the earthquake because of the poor living conditions. And the public telephone system was not available, but the computer system was largely unaffected, so survivors could use social networks like Twitter and Facebook to reach family and friends.
The earthquake underscored the importance of disaster preparedness and response planning.
So significant shortages of food and water caused the supply lines and infrastructure, leading to a lot of individuals having trouble getting basic necessities. Due to the main jail being collapsed, many prisoners and violent gang members escaped, and by July, only 627 were recaptured. And because of the politics, many of the politicians used gangs to win support, especially in areas of poverty where the youth were more susceptible.
There are several environmental impacts due to the magnitude of 7. So there were immense effects on the landscape, wildlife, and climate at both local and global scales.
The massive international response to the earthquake showed the power of global solidarity, however, also exposed challenges in aid coordination and effectiveness.
The effects on the landscape and wildlife and climate included deforestation and soil erosion. The deforestation was already struggling because of the decaying forest, and then the soil erosion was then happened due to the lack of trees. Locally, about 19 million cubic meters of debris were left in Port-au-Prince, and then many schools, many government buildings, and houses were all either damaged or destroyed. Globally, the earthquake was felt in many parts of the world, including the Dominican Republic, Cuba, Jamaica, Puerto Rico. So then the U.S. granted temporary protected status to Haitians, meaning that Haitians could spend 18 months in the U.S. legally. Some more environmental impacts were the weakened waterways and sanitation infrastructure, which led to trash-filled beaches, dead fish, and smelly waterways. And it also caused many landslides, which destroyed natural landscapes and rural areas.
The disaster emphasized the need for resilience building in vulnerable communities. This includes not only physical infrastructure, but also social and economic resilience.
The sources will be linked in the description.